Hello, welcome to the media news. Let's begin with the ongoing controversy surrounding the swap of the old Naira notes. The Department of State Services has intercepted some members of the organized syndicates involved in a sale of the new redesigned Naira notes. In a statement signed by the Public Relations Officer of the DSS, Peter Afunanya, the service also established that some commercial bank officials are aiding the economic crime. The service also urged appropriate regulatory authorities in the same vein, urged to step up monitoring and supervisory activities to expeditiously address the emerging trends. The service has ordered its commands and formation to further ensure that all persons and groups engaged in the illegal sale of the notes are identified. Therefore, anyone with useful information relating to these is encouraged to pass the same to the relevant authorities. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on New Naira Redesigned and Naira Swap Policy has rejected a 10 days extension granted by the Central Bank of Nigeria for the exchange of old Naira notes. In a swift reaction, Chairman of the committee, Alhassan Adodogua, rejected the extension, insisting that the CBN must comply with subsections 20, subsections 3, 4, and 5 of its Act. He said the 10-day extension for the exchange of the old Naira notes is not the solution, saying the committee will only accept clear compliance with the relevant section of the CBN Act and nothing more. Mr. Adodogua described the extension as a mere political gimmick to further deceive Nigerians and worsen their economic social livelihood. The Minority Caucus of the House of Representatives has applauded the Central Bank of Nigeria for extending the deadline for swapping of the old Naira notes for new ones by 10 days. It says the extension will ease the suffering as well as social and economic discomfort being faced by many Nigerians in accessing the new Naira notes. The Minority Caucus also applauds the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar's intervention by persuading President Muhammad Buhari and the CBN to extend the earlier deadline in national interest. It also added that Mr. Atiku's intervention has further shown him as a compassionate leader who is always concerned and committed towards the well-being of Nigerians. Management of the Nigerian Railway Corporation has also announced the recommencement of the Abuja Kaduna train service, which was suspended due to a derailment at the Kubwa station. Subsequently, train station will resume on Tuesday, 31st of January, with the following daily schedule. Departs Rigasa at 700 hours, AK1 departs Idu at 1000 hours, and KA4 departs Rigasa at 1300 hours. AK3 departs Edu at 1600 hours. But on Wednesdays, only KA2 will depart Rigasa at 700 and AK3 will depart Edu at 1600 hours. Now moving on to other stories, President Muhammad Buhari has arrived in Kano State to inaugurate some projects. Governor Abdullahi Ganduje, in company of some senior government officials, received the president at the Dala Inland Dry Port, which is one of the projects to be inaugurated, while in Kano, President Muhammad Buhari will inaugurate 10 megawatts federal government project, Kano Grid Solar Power, Kano State Data Center at Audu Baki Secretariat, here Data Center and an office complex at Galaxy Backbone Limited project. Other projects include Cancer Treatment Center at Muhammad Buhari Specialist Hospital, Muhammad Buhari Road Rotary Interchange, and the Aliko Dangote Ultra Modern Skills Acquisition Center. Now, Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo has approved the Dr. Alex Ekweme Square for the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Rally in Oka. The state coordinator of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Senator Marjorie Okadigo, made this public while inspecting the arena to ensure that everything is put in place before 31st of January as date for the state presidential rally.
We are fully set And that's the essence of inviting you all this evening to brief you on how far we fared towards the reception, towards the rally on the 31st of January. Anambra is the headship, is the melting point when it comes to politics of the Southeast, and we are going to deliver.
The message is a renewed hope in the sense that we have taken the party back to the grassroots.
Of course.
We have taken the party back to the wards.
Of course.
Our mobilization is going to come from the wards. Women, youth, support groups all come from wards.
Of course.
I standing here, I belong to a ward. So you go back to your ward and join your ward, and that is where our mobilization is starting, and that's where it will be.
I know there's nothing good that comes so easy. So we know that this one, the challenges are there. If you try to get yourself ready for a very big function, you must do what I call in-depth planning and proper and careful handling of issues.
The APC Presidential Campaign Council's Directorate of Support Groups Coordination has harmonized support groups in 8 of the 9 federal constituencies that make up Osun State. This is to ensure that adequate training of members of the support groups takes place before the election day. There is more in this report.
The exercise started about 3 weeks ago. Leadership of the Directorate have been moving from one constituency to another for the harmonization of the groups. Led by Ayomidiran, members of the Directorate were in Ila Federal Constituency, which consists of 3 local governments.
The response has been wonderful. We realize that our people are ready to work, and everybody wants to participate. We have the support groups coming up with their own members to form another layer of mobilizers for the party.
I appreciate their willingness to vote in progressive party, particularly the APC, and I want to assure them that we have been good representatives. We have been very cooperative. All development that happens in this town has come through us.
It's the turn of Osogbo Federal Constituency the following day. The first port of call was Ilobu.
We are fully on ground in Rekpodo local government, and we hope with the work we have undergone in the last 1 month, the coast is becoming clearer and clearer by the day. And by the special grace of God, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is coasting to victory in the Rekpodo local government. The same thing with Osun and Nigeria at large.
From there to Ifa, Oloruda, and the exercise was rounded off in Osogbo, where information about members of the support groups were taken.
The turnout today is massive. It's not surprising because we have many wards in the local government, 15 wards, and some wards have as many as 40 polling units. So we know that the number of people that come out is a true representation of the number of polling units available in the local government.
On completion of the harmonization, the Directorate assures that members of the various support groups will be adequately trained to deliver on their assignments ahead of them. Rafiu Hamid, TVC News, Osogbo.
Still talking politics, a PDP presidential campaign rally in Benin Kebbi witnessed a large turnout of party supporters, even as major stakeholders of the party in the state boycotted the event. The presidential candidate of the party, Atiku Abubakar, and his running mate, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, party officials were in attendance, but the division within the party was visible as aggrieved members of the party failed to show up at the campaign ground.